All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final of Strasbourg. And we've got Navarro taking on Emboko. Emboko's had a great week. She's the number one seed. She came in here as a wild card, and she has made the most of that. And Emma Navarro is having a bit of a resurgence this week, which has been nice to see. She was out for a couple of months with illness, and now, let me just adjust this. And now she's into the final of a 500 event, which is awesome to see her back. But Navarro's had a couple of tough matches. Yesterday, she needed a medical timeout as well, which is a little bit scary. But as far as we can tell, she is ready to go. But we'll wait and see, because it's never good when a player has a medical timeout in a semi-final before a major. Roland Garros, by the way, starts tomorrow. This time tomorrow, we'll be watching something. So yeah, French Open tomorrow. Let me have a look at the schedule for tomorrow and see what's up. Obviously, day one's pretty packed. Neither of these ladies are playing tomorrow, so you don't have to worry if you're a fan of one of these ladies. They're not playing tomorrow. They get they don't have to play straight away. They don't have to play straight away. So tomorrow we got Djokovic in the night session against Pirikar, which is kind of fun. Andreeva, Zverev, they're all playing. Fons is playing tomorrow, which is fun. Fonseca is playing, so that's good. When's he playing? Okay. Kostruk's playing tomorrow as well. Krejcikova, Fritz, Fokina, Valentova versus Linetz tomorrow. What else? Blocks is playing tomorrow. Opelka. And, yeah. Oh, and Raducanu is playing tomorrow. So there you go. So a lot to look forward to tomorrow. Yeah, Djokovic and Zverev tomorrow, which is kind of wild. Having them both on day one. And Djokovic playing the night session, which I think is more of a let me do that so I don't have to do it again. Because I think most of the top players are probably have to play a night session, at least on the men's side. I don't know about the ladies' side, but I think on the men's side, most of the top players are going to have to be scheduling for one night session for the tournament. Because I would have thought Zverev versus Bonzi would have been the night session, but I guess they want to put Novak's like, no, I'll take the first night and then I'll play the rest of the tournament during the day. By the way, it's going to be super hot as well, so that's going to be interesting. See who can deal with that. Also, Djokovic does get a couple of days off. Everyone who plays tomorrow plays Wednesday, so they get a few days off. By the way, champions of this tournament the last few years, Svitolina, Keys, Rybakina. This tournament's kind of crazy. I don't know what the first match of the day is going to be. I do not have a clue. I have no idea. There are a couple of matches that I'm like, oh, maybe, but there's nothing crazy first thing in the morning. Like, there's no real, like, there's no standout, like, oh, we got to watch this match at 11 in the morning. Yeah, like, Zverev is on probably later. Like, you got Bencic at midday, and then later, Zverev and Andreeva later. I mean, the choices of the first match of the day are pretty slim. Pretty slim. So, I don't know. I'm not sure yet, Deb. So, I don't know. Sunday draw for RG is kind of meh. I mean, look, they spread the first round over 3 days, which is to, I guess, avoid it, players having to play on day three, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They want to try and make all the first rounds completed by Tuesday, so that's why they extend the tournament. Plus, also, Sunday starts is something that the Australian Open did, and now the other tournaments have copied to also get that. And it's good for it's good for the crowd because they can go on the Sunday and see a lot of tennis. Whereas if they start on Monday, people have work, school. It's busy. They're busy, right? But I don't know. I mean, we're definitely going to have a big day tomorrow. We'll start with a bang, but I just don't know what exactly we're going to start with. Zverev Bonzi 5 setup. Well, probably, yeah. Is the weather looking good for the tournament? The weather is looking hot for the tournament. So the weather tomorrow is going to be 32, then 34. These are degrees. So 86, 92, 93, 93, 93, 93, 94, 93. So the whole week is going to be like hot. No rain at all. That's week 1, so I don't know. And then week 2, we've got a roof, so I don't think it matters. But yeah, the whole first week, we shouldn't have any rain, but we might still get a delay because heat rule, there's obviously the heat rule. So we've got to keep an eye on that as well. But any underdogs to watch out for? On the men's side, there's a lot of players to watch out for, but I don't think they're going to beat Sinner. On the women's side, underdogs, Kostyuk. She's probably the lowest ranked. Navarro is another one now after this week. But yeah. Oh, by the way, chat, if you check out the emojis, I cleaned them up a little bit because I noticed that they were all over the place. So now we've got all the they should be nice, and for the members, you guys can click on the emojis, and they should all be sort of in a nice order that you can just kind of find the faces and shit like that. So, also I've added a couple extras. Why is there 2 Ealas? That's weird. It's because we like her twice. I don't know. Why has no one pointed that out? Why are there 2 Ealas? What was that supposed to be? Hang on, let me double check. We've accidentally doubled up on... Oh, it's supposed to be Rafa. My bad. Deb, did you not see... the Rafa emoji disappeared. Hang on. Let me put Rafa back on the board. Where's Rafa's face? There it is. Is there no Rafa? Oh, no, Rafa's there. Then why is there 2 Rafa... Wait, hang on. No, who did I miss? Is there anyone missing? Check the thing. Is there anyone missing? Djokovic. Medvedev's there. No, we never had a TN. Rublev's there. Yeah, Rublev's by himself. Maybe I can move Rublev. What are we missing? Is there any of them missing? I can't remember. I think we got all the players good, right? Anyways, players are coming out in about 3 minutes. Have a look. Why is there an extra one? All right, I guess we'll put Rublev there. And then maybe we'll just add Murray. Wait, is the Mia emoji not there? Oh, no, it's there. I don't know. Coco's there? Yeah, Coco's there. Oh, I was here is missing. Oh, okay. Nobody uses that emoji anyway. So maybe we don't need that. Goat GG's is all there. We got Zverev. I had no idea. We'll chuck in this Murray emoji, but so the thing is that we had added an extra emoji, so maybe that's what I'm missing. Anyways, there we go. Tien is playing. Navone, Paul is playing later as well, so we'll keep an eye on all of that as well. That is all happening as well. Just hope Djokovic can go last the distance. I think he should be able to beat Pirikar. Playing at night actually against Pirikar might be another reason why Djokovic might have been like, you know what, I want to play Pirikar at night because the serve during the hot day might be a little bit harder to return. So maybe that's why Djokovic nominated to play at night tomorrow. Again, just speculating. The Swiatek emoji should be there. Yeah, Swiatek's emoji there. All right, here we go. Players about to walk out on court. And we are about to commence. Hopefully Emma will play well and take the match. Yeah, Raducanu's playing tomorrow too, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right. Well, let's see how Emboko looks. So she had that shoulder time, like that medical timeout on the looked like the front of the shoulder yesterday. So we'll see how she has recovered, and then also Navarro has played a lot of tennis this week, so we'll see how she is as well. Because Emboko this week has gone through Boiseau, Fernandez, Christian to get here. And the last two matches have been pretty long. And then Navarro's gone through Jovic, also Balic, Jovic, Zhang, and Lee. So that's a pretty good run. Zhang came in as a lucky loser for, I think, Keys, and did pretty well considering. And yeah, but Navarro taking out two of the young guns to get eventually to the final. Well, here we go. Oh, me. What's Mboko's best surface? I think at this stage, you've got to say hard court, right? Because we haven't seen enough of her on the other surfaces to determine whether or not she's I'm sure that she'll be good on grass. And she's clearly got a game for clay making a final. So, but I think hard courts, right? There's the most data on that stuff, on that surface. So we know we have more of an idea, right? But I think like she's proven that she can play on clay. And last year as well, right? She proved that she could play on clay, making it through the qualies of Roland Garros, losing in the second or third round. So it's more, she needs to just play more on the other surfaces, right? All right, and Emboko does have that same sort of strapping on her shoulder there. So it's definitely a problem. By the way, chat, I wish that they would do walkout music for the players, but I guess they just can't do that for everything. But it'd be so good to have, like, instead of the players wearing headphones when they walk out, they just play like a theme song. Like wrestling. Every top player gets a theme song. So happy to see Navarro looking happy and more like herself again. Oh, for sure. Yeah, look. I mean, look, if you've been on the internet this week, you'll know that at Navarro, there's a lot of people out there that are bloody robots back. I'll tell you, it is slower than. I mean, I could walk faster. It's taking all our jobs. Now just kick it over; it'll be fine. It's definitely a sponsor. If you've been on the internet, I mean, unfortunately, people are cruel. But yeah, we don't know why Navarro was away, right? She was gone for a couple of months with illness. We don't know what that is. We don't know what extent that was for her. But it's good to have her back. And last year was tough, right? I mean, she had a great 2024 breakout season, and then 2025 couldn't replicate that. Struggled. Dropped back on the rankings, and then this year has struggled as well. So it's good to see her back, because there was a time at the end of 24, start of 25, that people were comparing her to Swiatek as like the way that she plays. Like she's like a Swiatek type of player, and she does have all the shots, very capable of playing that sort of game. So. I mean, and Swiatek's won 6 slams, so not a bad player to be compared to. So yeah, and she's proven this week that obviously she is still somebody to keep in mind. Who's she playing tomorrow? Who's she playing in the first round of Roland Garros? That is the real question. Where in the draw is she? Because she has become a dangerous unseeded player this week, especially by beating Jovic. That was a huge win. So Navarro has got Emboko, by the way. She'll be playing against Bartunkova, which is a tough first round. Bartunkova has been a bit of a nightmare. So, she got Chen. Okay, so Chen versus Navarro, and then winner might play Jovic again if Jovic beats Eala. So we could be getting a Navarro-Jovic rematch. She's in that top second with Sabalenka, so it's like she's in a pretty dodgy spot. Also, and then she'll play Chen, Jovic or Eala, and then Osaka, and then Sabalenka. So I mean, Navarro's road is not easy, but yeah, still interesting to see what see where she how she does, because you would expect that she'd be able to get 1 or 2 wins there. She might be able to get like through Chen, and then it'll be either a rematch or another match or a match against Eala, right? I mean, rematch with Jovic or Eala match up, and that could be, that's going to be interesting either way. In baseball, every player has their own song. Yeah, why don't we do that? Why can't we do that? At the start of the season, every player picks their favorite song, and then for the whole season, every tournament plays that song as they walk out on a center court. That would be a fun addition. All right. So Navarro, by the way, is one of the higher ranked players unseeded at the tournament next week in Roland Garros. But after this week, she's actually been elevated into top 30. So she's technically, if this was a week early, like Roland Garros is a week from now, she would have been a seed at the French. But because because the rankings counted from last week, she's actually gone up 10 spots this week. She's just ahead of Penko and Potapova. So she would have been seeded had this happened a week earlier. Most viewers were having a match. We had like 50,000 for a final a couple years ago. Who's winning today, Cam? If Emboko wasn't injured or wasn't hurt, I would say her. I'll say Emboko. First time playing, by the way, this too. I'll say Emboko in 3, but I mean, Navarro could easily win this. I think it feels like a 50-50. The Emboko injury kind of evens it out, I think. Who's the favorite in this one? So Emboko is the favorite, but again, I wouldn't be shocked if Navarro got the dub. Like Navarro, I mean, Emboko has played a couple of really long matches the last 2 matches too. She's had a couple of tough ones, so I wouldn't be shocked. Navarro could definitely take it. It might be better for Navarro if it is a long match too. Navarro on the toss, elected to serve. Are we going to cover any more matches today? The thing is, they're all happening right now. So all the matches that are happening today are happening right now. The Rabat final is starting right now. The men's finals are starting in like the next hour. So unfortunately, by the time we finish this match, all the matches might be done. So there will be no. If we had one of the matches be a little bit later, we might have been able to do 2. But I got to make videos anyway. I got to make prediction videos because they're going on the second channel. So I've seen Navarro this week. Cool. 2 Americans can't lose finals. Coco lost, so Navarro could walk. Okay, but Coco's not playing this week. You mean last week, right? No matter what happens today, this has been a great way for Navarro to launch a comeback. Yeah. And look, I know. I feel like every single Navarro post I've seen this week online, credit to her fans and credit to tennis fans, have defended her. But can we just we don't talk about any player's appearance ever anyway. Can we not do that today? Can we not do that? That'd be really nice. Because we don't know what Navarro's been through in the last 2 months. She's been sick. Who knows? She could have been bedridden for 2 months. We don't know the extent of what was happening. So let's give her a break. Anyways, Navarro is serving. I'm going to go Emboko in 3, but I kind of feel like this is a 50-50. I'm not confident with picking Emboko. As Navarro with the backhand cross court. Into the backhand of Emboko. Forehand from Navarro to the backhand of Emboko. As Navarro backing up the line is a winner. Ooh, okay. Whoops. You seem happier today? Maybe it's because I had a coffee. And this match is on earlier, so I'm less tired. I went to IKEA. Maybe that's why. I went to IKEA today. 15 love. Emboko in 3, Emboko in 2, Emboko in 2, Navarro. All right. Why are all 4 matches at the same time? I guess they need to get to French Open. Yeah, I think it's that. I think they're putting them all... Also, these finals are a little bit earlier. Like, they're sort of like 2 p.m., whereas most of the finals... Like, some of the finals start at like 3, 4, 5 p.m., right? As a backhand into the forehand of Emboko, and she hits the drop shot winner. Lovely shot. 15-0. Did I get hot dogs? No, I got meatballs. I got the Swedish meatballs. Classic. No, delicious. All right. Lovely drop shot from Emboko. As Navarro serves. Into the slice of Emboko. Mboko's out, 30-15. Oh, by the way, Deb, if you could just like keep an eye out and just get rid of any messages if it's about looks. Just because it's just wasted time today. I just don't want to see it. And I don't really want to. I don't want it to flood the chat because it's pretty kind of irrelevant. IKEA's meatballs are actually my favorite food. Oh, they're delicious. They're so good. 30-15. As a backhand return into the forehand of Navarro. Good forehand to the forehand of Emboko and Navarro. Forehand cross court. Slice from Emboko as Navarro forehand up the line. Emboko backhand goes cross court. Navarro hits a drop shot, but Mboko's going to get there and hit it long. Okay, nice drop shot from Navarro. 40-15. Gravy and mash, magnificent. Oh yeah, and the sauce. Yeah, cranberry sauce, so good. 40-15. IKEA sells food. Yeah, IKEA's like they have restaurants in IKEA. And like they're famous for their meatballs. Swedish meatballs are like one of the most iconic. That's one of the reasons why you go to IKEA. I went to IKEA for the food, and then I ended up going and buying some storage unit thing. But I went there for the food, and then I got that later. I got the stuff later. One love. Sinner is winning even if he's not playing. I mean, who is going to stop the guy? C-Cam, you didn't want Sinkeraz. Now we have one guy winning. No. When I said I didn't want to see Sinkeraz, I said I didn't want to see Sinkeraz at the start of the year. Don't get it twisted. I wanted to see Sinner and Alcaraz playing on the tour. I didn't want one of them to be injured. I just didn't want to get a final of Sinkeraz every time. And I tell you, for the first 3 months of the year, I feel like the ATP was so like. And maybe this is for me personally, but I thought like up until Monte Carlo, the ATP Tour was on fire. Like I thought it was awesome. And then when Alcaraz got injured and he pulled out of the French, that's when I think everything got a little bit like, oh no. Now who's next? Because we had a lot of promising young players coming through. Medvedev resurgence, Zverev as well, but like the first 3 months, I thought the ATP was so good. Like we had, Djokovic beating Sinner, which was crazy. We had Menchik doing some work. Korda had a win, right, against Alcaraz. It was so good. And then I feel like that Sinkeraz final in Monte Carlo was the perfect time for that. Like that was exactly when we kind of needed that. Like, oh, okay, it's been about, 4 months. And then we had that. And I was like, oh, Sinkeraz and Sinner won on the clay. And was like, oh, okay. And then Alcaraz got injured. And now it's a Sinner tour. And it's like, oh, okay. But I didn't want to see Sinkeraz every final like we were getting last year. Which we did. We weren't getting that at the start. At the start of the year, we're getting like Medvedev in finals. Djokovic made a final, Feast was making finals. It was cool. Like, it was a cool... Yeah, okay, it was Sinner and Alcaraz still in the final, but it was like, it wasn't... I don't know. It was really, really promising. 15-30. And now it's the Sinner tour, and it's basically who's going to play Sinner in the final. If you're in the bottom half of the draw, you win. Like, congratulations, you avoid Sinner. If you're in the top half, Good luck. Anyway, 15:30. Chance for Emboko to get back, chance for Navarro to break here. As we slice now from Emboko. Navarro on the attack. Emboko backhand on the stretch. Navarro has got Emboko working as she hits backhand again to the backhand of Navarro. But, Navarro hit a winner on the line. Nice. That's 15:40. Break points. Break points for Navarro. First games of the match. Serving to the forehand of Navarro, and then Emboko backhand goes wide. 2-love Navarro. She takes the break. All right. 2-love. Great stuff for Navarro. Wim Vizet's coaching Emboko? Yeah. She sure is. All right. Navarro gets the early break. 2-love. All right. Serve out wide at the front of Emboko. Good return at the front of Navarro. Up the lines. Great shot. Emboko slices it back. Navarro with a forehand. Again to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro forehand again to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro forehand up the line is a winner. Ooh, Navarro's still got it. See, this is the thing, chat. Navarro's still got that placement. The thing that made everyone kind of compare her to Swiatek, the way that she placed the ball and just ripped it. She can still do that. Like that last shot was exactly the shot that got her to that top 10 spot. Like just those like perfectly placed forehands and backhands. All right, 15-love. She serves the fault, second serve. Really curious to see what Novak does. Yeah, I really want to see Djokovic versus Ruud fourth round. That match will be it has potential to be like a match of the year. I'm excited to see that one. All right, that forehand goes wide. All right, 15-0. As Navarro serves again. A fault, second serve. Second serve. Ooh, double fault, 15-30. 15-30. By the way, Dan, I told Deb at the start of the week that she didn't need to be here at all this week, but she also is a part of the chat. She wants to just hang out too. So, by the way, Deb, if I do watch the match first thing tomorrow, don't worry about what it won't be that intense. I don't think so. Don't stress about getting up too early. The Zverev match, if we watch that, which is likely, like just whenever you can. The first days are pretty chill anyway. It's just the Djokovic match I think is going to be the most intense one. Fonseca and Djokovic are the only ones tomorrow I think that are going to be. I might need a help. 15-40, good return from Emboko. As the return goes into the forehand of Navarro, she shanks it, lands in. Forehand again from Emboko to the forehand of Navarro. Now Navarro backhand into the backhand of Emboko on the stretch. Navarro backhand again. The backhand of Emboko up the line to the forehand of Navarro. Now we get a forehand from Emboko, but goes wide and it's 30-40. By the way, to the guy that keeps asking the same question about Sinner, that's not a serious question, so please stop asking. Do you mind having a private conversation? Well, Dan, look, you can't have a private conversation in a public forum. You want to have a private conversation? Go to Discord. 30-40. 30-40. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Yeah, Fonseca and Djokovic are playing tomorrow. Second serve. Into the backhand of Emboko. Forehand now from Navarro as Emboko forehand goes in the backhand of Navarro. In the backhand of Emboko and Emboko in the net. We get back to deuce. Yeah, so Emboko still got that shoulder taped. Now it could be pec as well, like sort of the muscle, like the joint, like not the muscle, the joint, but like it's sort of like here. So it could be her pec as well. And the way that she hits that forehand, if you just go like this for a second and you like take your arm back and forth like this, you'll feel that this part of your muscle like contracts and moves. So it might be her pec, it might not be her shoulder, or it could be the front of her shoulder here where there's muscles. But it's sort of there. She's got that patch again. And she hasn't played that much, so it might just be an over, like, maybe just from playing so much. She's played a lot of matches, a lot of tennis this week, so, long matches. So it might just be from, like, serving a lot. Because, again, if you put your arm up and you feel here, you can feel this muscle move, right? So it might be from the serving, it might be from the forehand. So it's sort of that kind of, like, front, sort of shoulder, pec region. Hopefully she's all right for next week, because next week's the important week, right? Anyways, advantage Navarro, who hits a drop shot. Mboko's going to get the slice, but it goes long. Navarro's at 3-love to start this match. Great start for Navarro. 3-0. Navarro. Great start. 12 minutes in. The taping looks like where it was for Kokkinakis. Okay, so it might be shoulder then, because he had the shoulder surgery, didn't he? Emma has... Oh, God, what? Now, you might be coming in late. I'm only going to say this once again. We don't comment on players' appearance, so let's not start today. 33 degrees in Paris tomorrow? Yeah. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. I don't know how the roof is going to work. Like, in Australia, they shut the roof. But they blocks the sun out. I don't know how the Paris roof is gonna. Is it gonna be cool? Like, can they make it cold inside? I know there's aircon, but like, will it actually work if the sun's beating down on that roof, or will the roof just make it slightly less intense but still be hot? I don't know. You're going to IKEA tomorrow? Nice. By the way, this person is wearing sunglasses with tennis balls and a cutout. I'm gonna make those. I want some of those. I want those sunglasses. They were actually sick. They were cool. I'm gonna make those. I still want to make a hat with a tennis ball like embedded in it with blood, because I think that's really funny. I saw that somewhere at the US Open, I think, and somebody had made a hat with it was like a hat with a tennis ball, half a tennis ball stuck on the side, and like blood's coming out. I thought it was. I'm like, that is crazy. I love it. I love it. All right. Love 15. Navarro on fire. Love 15. Indoor aircon for sure. Yeah, they would, but it's just whether or not the roof will reflect keep the sun, keep the heat out. You know what I mean? It's the aircon might be fine, but as Navarro forehand in there 15-0. But it's more whether or not the sun hitting the roof, if the roof's going to be able to block the sun, right? Because if the heat's still coming through because the roof is not, they don't have they have a translucent roof, so it might still heat it up, right? It doesn't, it's not a solid roof. It's like a. It's like a see-through surface, right? Is it glass? It must be glass. So whether or not that does keep the heat out. Also, on some of the courts, there's a gap around the roof, so there's still it's not gonna be like a cool box. There's gonna be air coming in and out of it. So same with the main center court. Center court roof they've got glass panels in the roof, so that might not stop the heat from It's sort of half and half French Open roof. It's half and half. The main center court. 30 all. But we'll find out tomorrow. They'll probably test it out over the next couple of days. So things, yeah, we'll see. And plus, also, aircon can also be... aircon can also break under extreme conditions. So having aircon might be fine, but if it's under like extreme, like if the heat is too much, the aircon could fail, which wouldn't help anybody. As we're backing up the line from Emboko, there's a lob by Navarro, 30 all. Navarro's lob goes wide, and it's 40-30 on Emboko to get on the board. You should do a hat with a tennis racket sticking out of it. No, I feel like that's a bit too much. I don't think I have a spare racket to... Like, what do you mean? Like, have the handle sticking out of it? Nah. Like, a tennis ball is funny because it looks like you just got hit in the head by, like, a ball and it just went too far. A tennis racket would be, like, too much. Too hard to wear. All right, return goes in from Navarro. Great forehand return. And we get to deuce. All right. First serve is a fault by Emboko. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Emboko. Backhand now from Navarro as Emboko up the line. Slice from Navarro goes wide and it's advantage Emboko. I guess the roof is to keep out the rain, not the sun. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's why Wimbledon's roof is also... I think the reason why Wimbledon built the roof the way they did is to keep the sun coming in, to keep the grass, like get sun onto the grass. So they wanted to have like a transparent or an opaque roof to let the sun, at least let there be daylight, even if it's diffused. But yeah, the roof, I don't think the roof at Roland Garros is designed for the heat. It's designed, it's not designed to block out the sun. It's designed to, when it rains, right? Same with Wimbledon. But when it's hot, like the Australian Open, they shut the roof, right? So we'll see. They might not even shut the roof. They might just be like, you know what? If we shut the roof, nothing's going to happen. So suspend play until it gets a little, until it gets a little cooler in the night. All right, return goes in front of Emboko. Up the line's a winner from Emboko, and she gets to advantage. All right, advantage Emboko to get on board here. As Emboko serves a fault, second serve. Oh yeah, Hawkeye's going to be weird as well because they don't have Hawkeye at Roland Garros. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes as Emboko double faults. Pardon me, back to deuce. Yeah, we're going to have line judges and stuff, which is going to be interesting. How many days into the tournament before we get a controversial line call? That's what I want to know. We're going to get one on day like 2, right? Day 2, we're going to get... No. Zverev is playing day 1, and Penko might be playing day 2, so we're definitely going to get it early. Because Zverev questions calls, and definitely will question a call if he doesn't believe it's right. So, yeah, that'll be... How many days until we all wish we had Hawkeye? All right, Navarro hits it out. Back to deuce. Yeah, they've got no video replay. They've only got lines people and the umpire's eyes. So, yeah, we'll see whether or not... we'll see how that goes. Was Hawkeye being introduced this year? Was it Hawk... I thought Hawkeye was being introduced eventually. As that goes out by Emboko. Maybe it is coming this year. I don't know. I haven't seen has anybody been watching the qualifiers? Nah, Roland Garros is still the only slam that doesn't have Hawkeye. It keeps lines judges for 2026. So yeah, no electronic line calls and no Hawkeye. They're the only tournament in the world that don't have it, or at least the only major tournament. As that goes out by Navarro, back to deuce. There are small 250s on the women's side that don't have it. But yeah, because Hawkeye on the ATP circuit, and that's not the slams, right? Everything outside the slams, and not the challenges, but anything between 250 and 1,000. All of them have electronic line calling. As we're back in now from Navarro to the slice on Emboko. Drop shot's good, but Navarro gets it easily. Then Emboko tries to pass it, but missed it wide. It's advantage Navarro for a double break. We are in deuce jail, by the way. Yeah, and then what do you call it? Obviously, the 3 of the 4 slams. Wimbledon, I didn't think was going to change as quickly as they did. I thought Wimbledon would be one of the maybe that and the French were going to stay true to tradition and get lines people. But Wimbledon were like, we're joining the party. That goes out by Navarro, back to deuce. So I was a little surprised that Wimbledon basically told the lines people not to come back next year. Or the year that they changed, right? But I guess they saw the writing on the wall and they were like, hey, this is the future and it's better than, having mistakes, I guess, right? It's better to invest in the technology and use it, right? Because it is very accurate, right? As we're back in slice from Emboko goes wide. Nice return from Navarro. Advantage Navarro. But yeah, so we'll find out. It's going to be really hot. So there's going to be a heat rule. Like people are going to be feeling the heat. And then we're not going to have Hawkeye. So it's going to be, the first week of Roland Garros could be a mess. I hope not though, as that goes out. Like Roland Garros first week could be crazy. We could be getting like players cramping and playing in the extreme temperatures. And we could be getting bad line calls. And it could be an absolute mess the first couple of days. Hopefully not. Hopefully it goes smoothly. But it's going to be brutal. Hot as anything. It's going to be like playing in the desert. Plus with the sand and the clay, like it's going to feel like you're playing, it's going to feel like you're playing in the desert. Is going to back up the line. Goes out by Emboko again, and it's another break point for Navarro. And then we don't have electronic line calls. So and the players are probably not going to enjoy that either. All right, advantage Navarro for the double break here. Now, the temperatures won't be as bad as the Australian Open because the Australian Open was getting to like 40 degrees. Good serve on Emboko. She comes with a forehand. Puts it away. Then we get back to deuce. So 5th break point Navarro in this game. Yeah, Australian Open got to like 40. So it's not going to get that hot. But still, mid-30 is hot. For Europe, mid-30s is pretty hot. Score looks like jail. Yeah, because we're in deuce jail right now. We're in deuce jail. All right. Serve. Into the backhand of Navarro. Emboko backhand to the forehand of Navarro. Emboko. Forehand. Bit of a moonball to get back in the rally. Then the forehand from Navarro to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro with her backhand. Into the forehand of Emboko. Navarro backhand again. Emboko gets it back into the backhand of Navarro. Emboko with a forehand. Goes long, and there's another break point. Advantage, by the way, 8th deuce of the game. All right, advantage Navarro. Advantage Navarro to take the double break here. As the return goes in, the forehand of Emboko, and she hits a winner. And we get back to deuce. All right. Another break point saved. All right, serve again. All right, we're going to fault second serve. Great second serve out wide. And it's advantage. Advantage on Mboko. Who do I think will win the Geneva Hamburg finals? Shocked to see Casper go out the semis. Yeah, I think, oh man, Paul looked good, but I think maybe Bouzet might take it all. And then Navone kind of smoked Ruud. And maybe Navone? Maybe the unseeded players get the job done. It feels like one of those weeks where it's not the expected player, right? The unexpected winners. So maybe Bouzet and Navone. South Americans backing up the line into the slice of Navarro. Backhand from Mboko. Into the forehand of Navarro on the stretch. Lob goes up. And then a backhand from Mboko. Navarro with a pass. Mboko with a drop volley. Navarro's going to get there and put it away. Great hustle. All right, back to deuce. Number 10. 10th deuce. All right. Great hustle by Navarro. Solid sprint. It wasn't a bad drop volley. Great shot. All right, deuce. All right, first is a fault by Emboko, second serve. Serve in the back of Navarro, backing from Emboko. Navarro backing up the line, Emboko forehand. Navarro gets it back, forehand from Emboko again, goes in the net, advantage Navarro to take the double break. She's had a lot of break points, and this is a 7th break point of this game, by the way. All right. First serve is a fault. Second serve. And Emboko with a big second serve. Big second serve ace. Back to deuce. And this is proper deuce jail. Like, this is real deuce jail. Does Emboko look like she's still dealing with physical issue? Well, yeah, she still has that that patch on her arm. So, she took it off. So she did at the start, but now she's taken that off. So obviously, not a maybe not a problem. I don't know. But she seems to have taken off the taken that off. So that's good. All right. Advantage Emboko. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. As we get back to deuce again. Back to deuce. I think this is the 12th deuce. This is a marathon. 20-minute game, yeah. I mean, minimum. All right, backhand Navarro, 12th deuce of this game. As we're going to forehand now up the line to the backhand of Emboko. Backhand from Navarro. Again to the backhand of Emboko as Navarro forehand, and then Emboko backhand in the net. All right. All right. Advantage Navarro. 8th break point of this game. Advantage Navarro. Serve in the back of Navarro. Return. Goes into the back of Emboko. She hits a wide, and there's the break. Finally. Finally the break. All right. All right, double break for love. That was a long game. We've had 31 minutes for four games, but that last game was about half of that. All right. Back to Navarro. For love. For love. As Navarro losing the first point, 15. I love 15. Love 15. All right. Serve again from Navarro. As the slice goes into the forehand of Emboko. Emboko on the ground with that forehand. And it's 15-0. You got to wonder as well how tired Emboko is going to be. Because she's played so much. Mboko's dad in the house, by the way. All right, so backhand to backhand rally. Emboko backhand again to the slice of Navarro. Emboko backhand. Up the line of the net. And it's 30-15. All right, that goes out by Emboko on the return, 40-15. Navarro for a 5-love lead. All right, as that goes out by Emboko, Navarro goes to 5-love, but it has been a marathon. 5-love at the moment. All right. Now, chat, I'm thinking. Somebody asked, are we going to watch... are we going to watch Paul versus Bouzet? We should probably watch Paul versus Bouzet just because of the South American. He is one of like the young up-and-coming players, right? So I feel like we should probably tune into that too. Plus, if this final is continuing the way it is. we could watch that too. And then, yeah. And it's Hamburg, and it's 500, so we might chuck that on as well. Watch both. Do a bit of a double header. It sucks that they're on the same time because it would have been nice to watch one after the other, but I guess they're trying to get these finals done for the tournament coming up. At the French, they don't want to have things linger, so we might chuck on. We'll do a double header to finish the week. Who's Bouzet playing first round RG? Good question. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. Sorry, playing Rublev. He's playing Rublev. So we should probably get a good look at the guy that Rublev's got to play. And also, Bouzet did have a great week in... he had a great month of February on clay. So it's fun. It's good to see him having a run this week because he did have a really good clay season at the golden swing in Feb. Most of the time, players don't play that. By the way, we're out of juice jail. Sorry, my bad. All right, love 15. Can Navarro get a bagel here? Double fault again from Emboko. 2 double faults already in this match. Also, the Bouzet and Pole match has just started, so we'll get that up as well. But don't worry, Emboko Navarro will be the main focus. All right. $30-15. Also, Navone versus Tienza about to start as well. All right, what's going on? We've got a doubleheader. We've got the Hamburg final. We've got the Strasbourg final. We've got Navarro at 5-love against Emboko. And Bouzet and Paul have just started. So, 1-love for Paul. Paul's had a great week out of nowhere. Took out Demonor yesterday. But he's taken on Bouzet, who is from Peru. And having a really, really good week. But also, is playing Rublev in the first round of Roland Garros. So let's get a look of how this kid looks because he might upset Rublev in that first round. But we'll keep an eye on this match and we'll see what's up. Anyway, set point for Navarro. But yeah, Bouzet, 22-year-old from Peru. So not a young player, not next gen, but still saw that Alcaraz generation. And Tommy Paul has come to life this week. All right, Emboko trying to avoid a bagel. I mean, what the hell? Navarro's gone crazy. 30-40. Serve in the front of Navarro. Return goes in the front of Emboko. Navarro, forehand off the tape. Goes cross court, slicing the net from Emboko. And there's the first set. Navarro, 6-love. Mind you, there was one game in the middle of that set at 3-love that went forever. But that was 10 minutes ago. And now she's up. Now she wins the first set. All right, Navarro takes the first, 6-love. Crazy. 40-love Bouzet. By the way, chat, is Tommy Paul... He's got to be in the top 3 of, like, coolest players, right? Like, players you feel like you could have a beer with. Like, he's got to be up there as, like, one of the... Like, if you want... Like, you were going out to, like, a sports bar, Tommy Paul's invited. He might be, like, the first person you call to ask. All right, 7 winners, 20 errors from Emboko. 6 winners, 3 errors from Navarro. Very clean hitting. And 3 breaks of serve as well. Out of 10 break points. And most of those were in that middle game. Yeah, love to go fishing with TP. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it just seems like such a down-to-earth dude. 40-15. As the return goes in the forehand of Bouzet. Backhand now from Paul as Bouzet backhand into the forehand of Paul. And then Bouzet goes again to the forehand of Paul. Paul hits it long. Bouzet holds 1-1. Paul seems like a chill guy. Yeah. All right, 1-1. Bracket Game says that Rublev is playing Vicente. What, he's playing his old coach? That's funny. All right, 1-0. Navarro's got the first set, 6-love. All right, 1-1 is a fault from Paul. Second serve. Always Bouzet almost hits a return winner, but the angle was too sharp and it went wide. All right, on Emboko. Look, she wins that game at the 3-love game that went for 20 minutes. If she wins that, it's a much more competitive set, I think. But that was the big difference. That game made the difference. The double break, and then Navarro just kept going. All right, here we go. That's Tommy Paul, 15-0. What happened to Demon yesterday? He collapsed against Paul. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Love watching Bouzet break out in Rio, I think it was. Yeah, he had a breakout at the start of the year, didn't he? In South America. As the backhand return goes in the backhand of Paul, Bouzet with a slice. Into the forehand of Paul as Bouzet backhand again. To that Paul forehand. Bouzet backhand again as he hits it in the net, and it's 30-15 Paul. $30-15. Paul always pushes Alcaraz, doesn't he? Well, he does. He is competitive against Carlos for sure. He's lost a lot. I mean, the head-to-head says he's not. He hasn't beaten Alcaraz that much, but every time they play, you definitely feel like Paul rates himself against Alcaraz for sure. Yeah, Rob, you just got to look at the draw. I don't do the draws. I don't know the guys or the people at Draw Challenge. So yeah, you're just gonna have to sometimes there are errors. You're just gonna look at the draw and make your decisions that way. So if you pick Bouzet over Rublev and it's not his name, it'll still count as picking against Rublev. So you just got to just deal with it, or email them and try and get them to change it. But at this point, I don't have anything to do with it, so I can't help you. Backhand to backhand rally. First point of the second is Navarro goes in the backhand of Emboko. Navarro backhand in the net, and it's love 15. As Paul hits a great serve, and it's 40-30. 40-30. Paul to take the first game of... So the lead again in this final. By the way, chat room is at 200 likes. So don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe too. We're trying to get to 100,000 plus 200,000, which is 300,000. Don't know why I said that way, but I did. 300,000 by the end of the year. That's the goal. All right, Deuce. And at this rate, we might be getting there by the end of Wimbledon. So fingers crossed, we might even get there way before I expected. And then we'll open that box of cards. Right there. That box of cards. Which has got 5 autographed cards in it of some of the best players you'll ever see. Nadal, Alcaraz, maybe Djokovic. I think he might be in there too. Possibly. Obviously not a guarantee. As that goes in the net by Bouzet on the drop shot, and it's advantage Paul. As with a 4-4 rally now, love 30 here as Navarro back in on the stretch. Emboko back up the line. Navarro gets it with a forehand. And then Emboko puts it away. And she's got break points. Love 40. Pardon me, love 40. Love 40. To get the early break and finally get a game. Get on the board. Wild to think that. Love 40. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve, Navarro. As we get a backhand up the line to the forehand of Navarro. Forehand from Emboko to the forehand of Navarro is Emboko backhand. Into the forehand of Navarro. Navarro on the net. There's the break. First game that she wins in the match is a break in the first game of the second. All right. One love Emboko on the board. All right, deuce again. His Paul tries to take the lead back. All right, Emboko. By the way, Emboko might have lost the first at 6 love, but you will be silly to think that she is not going to try and fight back here. To think that she is not going to put in some effort to come back. That first set, by the way, was 39 minutes for a 6 love. That was not an easy set. One love Emboko. Let's see if she can hold. All right, TP's trying to get the lead again. But he's down a break point advantage. Bouzet. As Paul serves the back of Bouzet. Slice goes in. Paul forehand. Bouzet with a pass. That's a winner. And the Peruvian? That's the term, right? If you're from Peru, you're a Peruvian. He's got the break. 2-1. Bouzet. All right, Emboko has not lost a point in the second set, 5 in a row. Ooh, pardon me. All right. That is the correct term. Good. That is double checking. All right, forehand from Navarro on the stretch. Emboko backhand into the net. And it's 15. I'll tell you this. The Bouzet fans, I'm loving this South American resurgence in tennis, right? We've got Fonseca with the Brazilians. We've got Peru getting involved. Obviously, Argentina's been around for a while. They've had multiple players, but they've got some guns, right? Chile's got some players. Like, it's awesome that we're getting all these South American players come through because they bring a different crowd. Some people might not like those people, that crowd. Like, they're a little crazy, they're a little loud. I love it. More South American crowds, please. Because we don't get to go down there and watch a big 1,000 event in Rio or anything. So we need the big tournaments to have the French Open crowds need to have all the South Americans involved. Because we can't go down there and watch them play. Unfortunately, they don't have big enough tournaments for the big guns to go down there. So we got to bring the crowds to the big guns, right? I love that. 15:30 here as Navarro tries to break straight back. And yeah, there's a bunch of Peruvians with the football jerseys in the crowd. So another South American country getting represented in the tennis arena. 15:40. Break points for Navarro to get back on serve straight away. Emboko serves in the forehand of Navarro. Back in Emboko. That's a winner. 30-40. One saved. Yeah, Chile's got a couple of guys coming through. Kalinina retired. That's a shame. So Marchenko wins. Marchenko's another young player to keep an eye on. She's part of that like Jovic, Eala, Emboko, Andreeva kind of generation, right? I think she's only 20. So yeah, good for Marchenko. If I'm thinking of the same person that we watched a couple of months ago. Pretty sure she is. Wait, hang on. Let me double check. Yeah. Yeah, she's 20. She's from Croatia, right? Yeah, she just won. Yeah, she's another one of that generation. They've got so many players on the WTA. Break back, by the way, Navarro. 1-1 in the second. Love 15 here as Paul hits it in the net on the return, 15-0. Nothing against passionate South American fans, but the passion can turn quickly into rudeness. Yeah, but if you're playing somebody from South America and you know they're going to have a crowd, you have to block. I feel like you got to figure that out on your own. The second you start complaining about that crowd as an opponent, the more they're going to yell. You're giving them what they want. You're encouraging them to, because you're giving, like, see, that's the thing, right? Now, sometimes it works, like Medvedev, right? He got the last laugh. But if you start, like, complaining to the umpire, it happens with the French crowds. It's not even just a South American crowd. Like, the French crowds have the same thing. We watch French players. We're going to watch Zverev play tomorrow against a Frenchman. We're going to watch Djokovic play a Frenchman. The second that anybody complains about the French crowd while they're playing a Frenchman is going to get booed. They're going to get heckled. It happens in France. So, like, it's not even... It happens in other European cities too. It happened a little bit with Hadar in Madrid when he was playing players, that he was getting that passion, and then, but also, double faults were being cheered. That's to be expected. That's what the home ground advantage is for, or at least that's what happens when you have a passionate fan base. But if you're playing someone like that, you should try and figure out how to beat that instead of complaining to the umpires. Because the umpire is going to tell them to be quiet, but you're not going to, doesn't mean they're going to be nice to you. No point in trying to get them to be quiet. You just got to deal with it internally. It's part of the mental hurdle of tennis, right? Anyway, slicing out by Emboko, 40-15. You can't ban the crowd. You can't punish the crowd. We're going to fine the crowd for cheering. Like, what are you going to do, right? It's on the players to have to... Like, yeah, well, they can tell the umpire to help, and the umpire will try and help, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the players to try and mentally figure out how to not let that affect their play. And Medvedev did a hell of a job when he played Fonseca, and the crowd were getting crazy. And that's how you deal with it. You deal with it by winning. And then on the other side of things, like Eala at the US Open last year when she played Towson, and Towson just let it affect her, and she lost. And that's the other side of it, right? When you let it affect you, and then you lose the match because of it, or partly because of it. So but I love that. You guys know I love a hostile crowd. Forehand to forehand rally. I love that energy. There's a bit of slice now from Mboko into the forehand of Navarro. Forehand from Mboko. And Navarro forehand up the line to the backhand of Mboko. Navarro backhand again to the backhand of Mboko as Navarro wins the game. 2-1. She takes the lead back. All right, Paul, by the way, has got a breakback point. The reason why I like it's not because I love drama. It's because I like to see how players who have to deal with that react. Like, I love that. I love to see... It's not so much like I love to see the crowd being disrespectful or whatever you want to say. It's that I love to see how the person who's getting that treatment and who is having to go through that, how they react. And see how they deal with it. Like that, I like watching that. It's fun. It's fun to see a player overcome that and then give a great reaction. Like, remember when Fritz went like this at the French Open a couple of years ago? That was amazing. One of the greatest Fritz moments of all time. When he went like that to the French crowd, and then he told Rinderk Nish, have a good flight. Like, that was a classic, right? That doesn't happen if the crowd's not hostile, right? And I love that Fritz had that last laugh. Just like I love when Medvedev did that, one of the moments of the year. When he went like that to the crowd after beating Fonseca. I love that. Like, those don't happen if the crowd's all nice. If everyone's having fun and everyone's really nice and friendly, we don't get those moments. Is it a backhand rally? Slice from Paul. He's trying to get the break back here. Is it a backhand now into the forehand of Paul? Forehand now from Bouzet as Paul with the forehand inside out. That's a great shot. Slice goes in from Bouzet, but Paul's all over the net with a volley. And he gets to advantage again. TP. But look, I know I definitely know that I'm in the minority in this, and I know most people are like, that's not tennis, go watch UFC. And I do watch that. Go watch other sports. I do watch other sports. I know that it's not a tennis thing, but I like that in other sports. So that's why I'm like, oh, well, I love it when you've got this intense environment. Like, I love it when they go to, like, in UFC, go to, like, Rio, and then someone's fighting a Brazilian, and they're, like, getting, like, they're just going to have to go through it. Like, it's just, like, it's crazy. I think it's interesting. Nice volley from Bouzet, back to deuce. But again, I know that I'm, like, most people hate it. I'm by myself. I get it. It's not everybody likes that. Most people don't like that. It's not tennis, but I like it. Obviously, up to a point, right? Yelling abuse, right? Yelling abuse, anything that involves anything stupid like throwing things at people or whatever, that don't like that at all. But when it comes to just like cheering double faults, I think it's kind of just like, it's harmless fun. Like, I don't think it hurts. It just hurts people's feelings, right? It's not like it's not yelling abuse. It's just like laughing at somebody's misfortune. But it's not, I don't see that as like, you know what I mean? That's where I draw the line. Anything more than that, yelling abuse at players, I don't know. Those people need to get kicked out and never come back. But cheering double faults is just like, I don't know. It's definitely disrespectful, but it's also like kind of, just don't react. Do not react. Don't let them know that it's getting to you, because they'll keep doing it. Anyways, advantage Bouzet. As the backhand return goes into the backhand of Bouzet. Backhand forehand from Paul. As Bouzet backhand again to the backhand of Paul. Drop shot is good. And it's back to deuce. And I'll tell you this, and I know why I like it as well, because one, I'm Australian, and we used to go to, like, in the Davis Cup, we used to go to hostile environments like in France and South America and have to play them in the Davis Cup, and that was the worst environments to go to. And Leighton Hewitt, my favorite player of all time, loved that shit, so I'm like, hey, I'm for it, right? But I also, when I played, I don't know what it was, but whenever I played at somebody else's, like if it was in a club match or whatever, and I played somebody away from home, like in another person, you know, another club, and they had a group of people that were watching them, and they were cheering my every mistake, it just gave me more motivation. I don't know. I just love that. I love that. Like, it just gave me a reason to, like, try and win even more. Like, I know that's just, I don't know what it is. I love that. But then I can see the other side where other players just hate it and they fall apart. And I get that too. But I don't know. When I played, I was like, oh, okay, you bought like everybody you know in your family. All right. And I'm going to make a mistake and they're going to be like, yeah, let's go. All right, let's see how long that lasts. I don't know why. I just loved it. Advantage Paul. Which is why I love when players like, you know, Djokovic does this, and I'm like, yes. You tell him. All right, Bouzet with a fault, second serve. Paul trying to get back on serve. Yeah, Nole thrives. I love it when Nole gets that hostile crowd, and he's just like, all right, bring it on. 4-1 rally. As that goes up the line of the backhand of Bouzet. Backhand now from Paul. Bouzet back into the forehand of Paul. Again to the backhand of Bouzet. Bouzet hits a wide. We're back on serve. 2-2. TP breaks back. All right. 2-2. All right, back on serve. Also 15-all here. We're at 2-all in the second here. Navarro serving. As she hits the forehand cross court. Boko hits up the line. Does that go in? No. Just went long. 30-15. It's called Don't Poke the Bear. Exactly. 30-15. As Navarro serves again. 30-15. Navarro serves. Into the backhand of Emboko, but it's a fault. Second serve. Paul has so much aura. He looks like Superman. He's Captain America. Tommy Paul is Captain America. As a backhand lob from Emboko. Navarro with a smash. Emboko gets it back. It goes long, though, and it's 40-15. I'll tell you, there was a probably 2024 when Navarro broke out. There was a lot of similarities between Navarro and Paul. Like they were so similar because even TP was sort of like breaking towards that top 10 at the time as well. Like Navarro and Paul, very similar. Not don't really shout, right? They don't really celebrate. They're pretty low key. They're pretty chill in the interviews. They seem pretty down to earth, right? Very similar in the way that their personalities as well. So it's kind of weird that we're watching them at the same time. And they could both win, which would be kind of great for the American tennis on the clay and then Tien wins? That can't happen. We're going to have 3 American clay court champions today? Is that a thing? Could that happen? Could happen. Anyways, Brousset's got love 40. Maybe it won't happen. Return goes to 400 Paul, and Paul rips that for a winner. And it's 15-40. All right, 15-40. Love that quiet energy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they just got that quiet confidence. Like they don't need to scream and shout. They'll use their game to shout. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. Brousset with a break point. Yeah, Kyrgios is coming back on the grass. As we backhand now into the forehand of Brousset. Backhand out from Paul. Into the backhand of Brousset at the line. Paul with a slice. Goes wide. Brousset breaks again. 3-2. I'll tell you what, it would be kind of fun, and I don't know if this is going to happen. We'll see. If we watch Kyrgios straight after the French, which he's supposed to be playing in Stuttgart, I think. It would be kind of fun. Full circle. By the way, Brousset's got trainer out here. I'm not sure what it's about. He's talking about his nostril, his nose. I think maybe he's something's going on here. I don't know what's going on. But it would be like a full circle moment with the channel if we watched Kyrgios and we got to 300k on that stream. That'd be kind of fun. I don't think it's going to happen, but we might, because that was the first match we ever watched back in 2018 was a Kyrgios match, and then 300k at Kyrgios. Maybe that's what we'll do after the French. We'll watch Nick Kyrgios, and that will be the party. The 300k party stream would be the Kyrgios stream. Because whenever we watch Kyrgios, it's always eventful. 3-2 Navarro. Brousset's got the trainer out. I'm not sure. They're just checking his vitals. So he must have he might be feeling sick or something. And it was love 15 that goes out by Emboko. What if we get at RG? If we get to 300k before, during Roland Garros, we'll do something after. Either way, we'll do something after Roland Garros. If we don't get there and we do it at Wimbledon, then we'll do something after Wimbledon. We're not going to do a party in the middle of the tournament because that would be too hard to organize. And so back in long by on Emboko, love 30. But if we get to 300k during French Open, then after the French, we'll pick a day where we can celebrate the crazy achievement and open those cards. Love 30. Kyrgios Medvedev, that would be wild. Love 30. Navarro looking for that break. And Brousset just getting something for whatever he's dealing with. He has got an ice pack around his neck, so maybe he's just feeling the heat. Emboko double fault. Love 40. Navarro is dominating. Love 40. Yeah, Kyrgios Medvedev would be something fun. That would be fun. I'm not sure how hot it is in Hamburg, but maybe it's more just playing so much tennis might be for Brousset this week. Remember he played qualies as well. When Emboko hits a tape and it's a drop shot winner and it's 15-40. He did play qualies as well, remember? So maybe there's a bit of that as well. Hey, shout out to everyone from Peru in the house. What's up? I love that South American tennis is back through so many different countries too, not just Brazil, not just Argentina. It's great. So many players from South America are starting starting to thrive on the men's side. Backhand to backhand rally. Drop shot from Emboko is too good. All right, that's 2 saved. 30-40. All right, 30-40. Still break point. Can Djokovic win the French? He can. Down the bottom half of the draw, avoid Sinner to the end. So he can. But it's whether or not he will be able to win matches. There's a lot of tough matches in front of him. So if he can play himself into some form, like if he can win the first couple of matches in relative ease, then maybe he could play himself into form. But that goes out by Emboko. 4-2. Navarro with a set and a break in this final. She's kind of cruising now. I mean, this is pretty. It hasn't been as easy as the scoreboard, but yeah. Pop the champagne for 300k party. Yeah, if we hit 300k during the next few tournaments, we'll have like a celebration during the match, but we won't. The party when we open that will be a separate thing. All right. Seriously, many people can't wait for Keeg's return. Please keep us up to date. Oh, no, I will. Don't worry. I'll tell you, though, I mean, if Kyrgios comes back and that wrist he can play, like, because it's been the wrist that's been the problem, right? It might be the perfect time for him to come back. Like, it's not like that we need him. Maybe we do need him, but like with Alcaraz out, and I'm not saying that he's the guy, he's the solution to Sinner, right? That's all I'm saying. But with Alcaraz gone temporarily, hopefully, Kyrgios coming back and having a run and putting on a show and bringing that Kyrgios game might just be what we need. Like I don't want to call him a sideshow because that sounds rude, and I'm not saying that he's a clown or anything like that. Right? I love Keeks, but it would be kind of fun to have that circus back, like bring back that circus while Alcaraz is not around, because Alcaraz is gone. Yeah, okay. There's definitely entertaining players, right? We've got a lot of good. We've had the Hodar resurgent or the Hodar breakout. We've had Fonseca doing his thing. Bublik's obviously always around for fun. But it's the Sinner show. But to have Kyrgios in the mix, and also, we know that him and Sinner have. Well, I feel like it's more one way, but him and Sinner don't get along. It would be kind of fun to have him back on the grass and like them talking about Sinner's, because the first question he's going to get asked is, "What do you think about Sinner's dominance at the tour?" Someone's going to ask that, and he's going to respond as bluntly and honestly as he does, right? So I'm more keen for that first press conference, because they're going to have a lot of guts to do it, but someone's going to go, "Hey, Nick Kyrgios, what do you think of Sinner's dominance of the tour right now?" And then he's just going to look at them and go, "Are you serious? You asked me that question? I haven't played for 6 months, or I haven't played for a best part of a year, and I just won my first match in forever. And you asked me about Sinner?" Like, he's going to like rip, but I'm for it. I want to see what happens. Keegs is not going to take that kind of, like, he's going to be like, "Bro, you're talking about who?" I just think it's going to be so fun to have him back, and hopefully he's healthy enough to play. Plus, yeah, the crowds, like all that, like we kind of need that to have that extra bit of fun going on the men's side. Like, almost like a it's not a side story, but just like another, like the storyline's been Sinner wins everything, and there hasn't been much else going on. It's been Sinner dominating, and then like a couple of young players, having a run. But having Kyrgios back would kind of be really, it would be just very interesting. He'd make things very interesting, and we kind of need that with Alcaraz gone. Like at least something else to keep us, especially as Emboko hits it out 40-30. Especially, and I know I'm rambling, but especially with Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner not playing pre-Wimbledon. So we're going to have 3 weeks of no big 3 guys, right? Zverev's going to play 1 week and a couple other guys, but to have Kyrgios back in that mix will just make the pre-Wimbledon tournaments that little bit more interesting. And if he's healthy and able to play his game, be really fun. Imagine he won one of those. Imagine he won one of those pre-tournaments too. That'd be crazy. That's asking a lot. Double fault Navarro back to deuce. Navarro in control here. By the way, TP is back on serve. 40-15 here at 3-0. But yeah, it'd be fun to see him come back in. It'd be fun to see him, Kyrgios back. Hopefully back healthy, because he would make a lot of people nervous. You don't want to play Nick Kyrgios on grass. 4-3, Paul. He takes the lead. All right, drop shot from Emboko, and then the forehand down the line on Emboko. A bit of a shank, but it's a winner, so she'll take it. Advantage on Emboko to get back on serve. Yeah, I'm not sure what Kyrgios' ranking is. Is it protected, or is he getting wild cards? I'm not sure. I can take a look. So, Queen's Club, he must have a protected ranking. Or is he playing Hella? Or is he not on the list yet? We don't know. Stuttgart, he's playing... Is he playing Stuttgart or Den Bosch? I can't see his name. He must have a protected ranking, or maybe he doesn't. He might not. Back to deuce, by the way. Mboko can't break. He might not have a protected ranking because he hasn't played for a while. Shouldn't you be resting for RG? I am today. Today. We're just chilling. He's getting he'll be getting wild cards 1,000,000%. So I don't think he needs. He might not have a protected ranking high enough. Because remember, it's based on the average ranking of the first 6 months of you being off. So his ranking might have been low. But he'll get wild cards. He'll get wild cards. I don't know about Wimbledon, though. Will Wimbledon give him a wild card? He might need a Wimbledon wild card. Are they going to give? They might not give him one. They've not always been the best of friends, Wimbledon and Nick Kyrgios. They're not, but that would be stupid not to give him one. Like, he's bought them so many memorable times. That would be so silly not to give him one out of, spite. Drop shot in the net by Navarro. We get back on serve here, 4-3. It would be so silly for Wimbledon to snub Kyrgios, but it would also feel like that would happen. They would ignore him and make him play qualies, which is kind of dumb because you're just like, oh man, what a missed opportunity. He has given you some of the greatest moments in the last 5 years at Wimbledon. You can go back to when he beat Nadal there, right? But his run in 22 had so many fun things for the fans, maybe not fun for the tournament. But his run in 22 was one of the most iconic parts of Wimbledon in the 2020s. That and Alcaraz, obviously, with Djokovic and all those matches too. But his run in 22 was one of the biggest parts of why Wimbledon in the 2020s. I mean, yeah, it's got to come on, you got to give that guy a wild card. Get Andy Murray on the phone. Murray he can nudge them, right? He could be like, hey, yeah, give my friend a wild card, please. I'm Sir Murray. Come on, Andy, make the call. 30 love. Bouzet serving. Oh, he's not playing Queens. So he must be playing Hella. Is he playing Hella? He's playing Stuttgart, so maybe he's just playing all the German tournaments. All right, 30 love. Raducanu is an expert at exploiting the protective ranking loophole. No, she's top 50. She doesn't need a protective ranking. Anyways, lob goes up by Bouzet. Bounce smash. Paul, he puts it away, 30-15. 30-15. Tim Henman will. Yeah, get Tim Henman to get them to give him a wild card. He needs to be playing. We need Kyrgios at Wimbledon. We need him to play main draw. Don't make him play qualies. Give him a main draw wild card. Come on now. Come on. You got to do it. Got to do it. Come on. Got to give him the main draw. As Bouzer hits a 4 up the line winner. Beautiful shot. 40-15. Will Dimitrov need a wild card? Yes, he probably will. All right, return goes in the forehand of Emboko. Drop shot's good. Navarro can't get it. 15-0. Yeah, I know Brits only get wild cards at Wimbledon, but come on. Come on. Having Kyrgios in your draw is only going to make your tournament more interesting. Backhand return goes into the forehand of Bouzer. Backhand on the stretch from Paul. Bouzer forehand goes in the net. It's 40-30. Couldn't forget the Tsitsipas Kyrgios epic at Wimbledon 22. Absolute cinema. Still, to this day, one of the best matches of the 2020s. So intense. It was a circus. It was, oh man. That match was insane. Loved it. Like, that was iconic. It was cinema. 30-0. No, 30-0. And Emboko just got back on serve. But it means nothing if she gets broken. 4-all Bouzer and Paul in the first set. 30-0 as we serve again from Emboko. Into the front of Navarro, up the line at the back of Emboko. Navarro backhand. Goes into the back of Emboko. Navarro backhand again. Emboko gets it back. Navarro backhand goes up the line. Navarro now with the backhand on the stretch. Emboko backhand again. Drop shot is really good. Navarro can't get it. That's just too good. Emboko's hit some amazing drop shots. And it's 40-30. 40-30 on Emboko to keep... to level. All right, Paul serving 4-4. As we had a backhand rally here from Bouzer. He slices it into the front of Paul. And Paul hits it out. Love 15. As Navarro, forehand up the line to the backhand of Emboko. Forehand from Navarro cross court. Emboko gets it back. Navarro forehand goes again into the net. And Emboko gets her way back into 4-all. Good fight back. All right. 4-4. All right. As Bouzer hit it out on the return, and it's 15-0. Wimbledon needs something exciting to create buzz. With Alcaraz not being there, Kyrgios would be amazing for the All England club. Let's go. Yeah. I concur. And like the possible, like if you're at the Wimbledon, if you're at the All England club and you're trying to give out wild cards, you've got to have your head in the sand if you don't think that Kyrgios Sinner potential second or first round is not worth a wild card. Like, I know that the draw is random, right, and all of that, but it's I mean, the possibility that Kyrgios and Sinner could play at Wimbledon is enough to give him a wild card. Like, that match would be it's been one of the most anticipated matches for the last few years. Every time Kyrgios plays in a tournament that Sinner's in, everyone's like, ooh, are they going to play? Are they going to play? Are they going to play? Even if they don't end up playing, they're on opposite sides of the draw, they don't play. The possibility that they could play, it would be in the first week of the tournament, it'd be one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the entire event. And that includes like a final, right? I mean, would you rather see Kyrgios versus Sinner second round, or, I don't know, Zverev versus Sinner final, right? I think the only thing that would top a Sinner versus Kyrgios would be a Djokovic Sinner, or something like that, right? But there's so many matches that you would not put ahead of that match. Like you're putting Kyrgios versus Sinner in a potential second round match as a must watch for the entire tournament, ahead of so many other matchups. Maybe like a Fritz versus Sinner? I don't know. That could be up there, but I don't know. Anyways, 30-15. That goes out by Emboko. Paul, by the way, 40-30. 40-30 as Paul serves out wide. A fault, second serve. Navarro 30-15. Maybe like a Draper versus Sinner might be on that level. If they were to play. Kyrgios will play qualies. No! Give him a wild card, damn it. There's a bit of forehand slice to the backhand of Emboko. Great lob by Emboko. 30-all. Bouzet wants this break. All right, lovely lob. Drop lob combo. That's an Alcaraz special. All right. Serve is a fault from Navarro. Second serve. Bouzet already bigger than Fonseca. Yeah, every young player. People just want every young player to be better than Fonseca, but he is the benchmark, which is great to see. I love that as a fan. Is it a 4-4 rally? Up the line from Navarro to the backhand of Emboko. 4-0 from Navarro. Again, the backhand of Emboko. As Navarro backhand again into the backhand of Emboko. Navarro backing up the line is long, and it's 30-40. Emboko with a chance to break here and extend this match. We have seen over the last couple of matches that Emboko is not a quitter. And she's been down. Remember, she was down like 5-2 in the first set yesterday. Came back to win, saved set points. Like, she is not a quitter. All right, 30-40. Advantage Paul, by the way. And he holds 5-4 Paul. 30-40. Navarro serves. Into the forehand of Emboko. Backhand from Navarro. Into the backhand of Emboko is Navarro with a forehand cross court. That's a great shot. And it's deuce. I'm still puzzled why I can pick Eala over Jovic. Yeah, but that's because you're a Jovic fan. So, like, and also I explained it in the video. Go watch the video. I literally explained it. I didn't just go, these two are playing and I pick Eala with no explanation. I made a video about it. And it literally says what I think Eala has to do to win and why I picked Eala. Just watch the video. You'll hear, my reasoning is in the video. But you're a Jovic fan, so I wouldn't expect you to be like stoked with my prediction, even if she played Sabalenka. Backhand rally, that goes out by Emboko, and it's advantage Navarro. Advantage Navarro to get the lead. Also, it's Eala's birthday today. She is 21, I think, so happy birthday to Eala. Alright, advantage Navarro. Serving to the backhand of Emboko. Sorry, Emboko on the net. Navarro, she's one game away from a title in her comeback. And she's already back into the top 30 after this week. So, I'll tell you, Navarro is dangerous. Watch out. All right. Eala versus 2012 Serena. Cam picks Eala. Yeah, you know me so well. Am I right? Really? Is it that obvious? Oh. That I would pick against my favorite player in her best season? Oh, yes. Of course I picked against Serena. Navarro's birthday was 5 days ago. Hey, that'd be awesome if she won the title then. All right. Bouzet serving to take, to level this first set, but it's love 15. On a lighter note, Cam would be super happy if Fonseca and Eala paired up for mixed dubs. I would, yeah. That would be awesome. Do I like Brisbane or Geelong? They're both all right. All right, 15-0. Has a return. Goes out by Paul. And it's 30-15. Bouzet, good serving. Navarro beat Iga in Beijing last year. Did she? I can't remember that. So it'd be probably her best win since then, right? As with a backhand slice. Nope, that's a let by Bouzet. Have the Wimbledon wildcards been given out yet? All right, 5-4. Navarro, 1 game away. Can Emboko hold? As with a backhand now to the forehand of Emboko. Backhand from Navarro, but Emboko overhits it. Love 15. Bouzet forehand again to the backhand of Paul. Bouzet with a forehand cross court. Paul gets it back. Bouzet up the line. That's a great shot. Paul gets it back with a lob, though. And it goes in the net. 40-15. 40-15. As a fault from Emboko. Second serve. Serving the forehand of Navarro. Good return to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro with the backhand again to the backhand of Emboko. And she hits it up the line for a winner. What a shot. 15-all. Would Fizet be observing more this first tournament? Yeah, I don't think he's going to... Yeah, probably. Probably more. I mean, I'll tell you this much. Emboko hasn't played much since Miami. She's played 1 tournament since Miami before this one. And then she works with Fizet and they get to the final. That's a pretty good start to a coaching relationship. Like, that's a good partnership. Like, your first tournament together, you make the final. Even if she loses, right? And yes, okay, she loses, should have won this match, should be, she was the favorite, all that stuff. But to have them pair up and then they make a final straight away, that's a pretty good start. On a surface that Emboko is like, you wouldn't think Clay and her game would be super compatible. And not having played for months. She played 1 match in Madrid, that's it. Since Miami. It's been like 2, because she got her wisdom teeth out. She got sick in Rome. So to have to make a final in their first tournament together is decent. All right, 30-all. The wildcards announced on the 17th of June. Okay. All right, 5-all. Bouzet holds. Paul's going to serve. 30-all here. Mboko's got to be careful. She serves. No, she doesn't. She's serving in the sun as well. All right, return goes in the back end of Emboko. Emboko on the ground. And we got a championship point for Emma Navarro, who has been off tour for a couple of months due to illness. And she has come storming back onto the tour. Will be unseated and in a very sketchy part of the draw next week at Roland Garros, but we'll be keeping an eye on her for sure. Return goes out and Emboko says not yet. Deuce. Championship point saved. All right. Championship point saved. As Emboko forehand up the line. Navarro's going to get there with a slice. Emboko backhand again to the back of Navarro. Emboko forehand drop shot is very nice. She's hit some great drop shots, Emboko, in this match. Advantage Emboko to keep this match alive. All right, 30 love Paul. All right, advantage Emboko. All right, Emboko holds. Championship point saved. All right, 5-5. Oh, yeah, Tien's playing right now too, right? What's his score? All right, 30-15 Paul. Backhand return goes in the net from Bouzet, and it's 40-15. Why would the Temple of Tennis give an opportunity to a player who treated the sport as a joke and not seriously? I don't know. It would be entertaining for sure. So I'm guessing you're saying Wimbledon and Kyrgios. Is that what you're saying? I mean, look, you might not like him, and they might not like him, but he brings people to the tennis. People are going to watch that match. Whoever he plays, he might play on an outside court against qualifier. But Nick Kyrgios brings attention to the sport, even if it's in a negative way at times. So, like, you might not like his attitude. Wimbledon might not like his attitude, but undeniable that he sells out. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Kyrgios play in an empty stadium. Not the last 5 years, 6 years. Maybe in a 250 in a first round in the Asian Swing in 2018, but over the last 5 years when he's played, he has not been playing in front of nobody. People want to watch, and you got to give wildcards to the players that bring a crowd. That's what wildcards are for. They're not just for local hopes. They're not just for to improve your talent pool. They shouldn't be. They should also be there to try and sell tickets. They should be there to have an atmosphere in a match that maybe nobody would have cared about if it wasn't Kyrgios involved, right? That's just the way wildcards are, and that's why Venus gets them, right? Instead of somebody who, is a younger prospect. It's because the younger prospect doesn't have fans. They don't have the, maybe they got a little bit of hype behind them, but that's why Venus gets them, right? All the time. Because she's the recognizable name. She's the one that people want to go watch. Even if she does lose, 4-4 rally, love 30 here. Mboko, she might just turn this around. She did save set points in the first set yesterday with a slice forehand. And it goes long, and it's 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. All right, Bouzet serving to get to a tiebreak. 15-30. Still a chance here for Emboko to maybe get the lead. As Navarro serves a fault. Second serve. 15-30. Second serve Navarro. Into the backhand of Emboko. Return goes to the foot of Navarro. Emboko backhand. Into the Navarro backhand up the line, and Navarro hits it long. It's 15-40. Emboko to take the break and serve to the second. All right. Emboko. What a fight back. Remember, she was also down 4-2 in this set. All right, 15-40. As the return goes into the forehand of Navarro, up the line to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro saves one. Ball goes long, 30-40. Still break point for Emboko. Navarro serves. That's a fault. Second serve. There's a return from Emboko to the back end of Navarro. Navarro hits a wide. Emboko breaks. All right. And she's going to serve to take us to a third. Big day tomorrow. Yeah, we got big day tomorrow. That's why I'm not shouting too much today. I don't want to ruin my vocals for tomorrow. Trying to keep it low key today. Just trying to manage things today. All right. Emboko breaks. If you're just joining us, Emboko did have a have to save a championship point. It was on her serve, so she didn't have to save it on a return. She had to save it on a serve, but yeah, Emboko is now going to serve for the second. And Bouzet is about to get to a tiebreak against Paul in the first set here. All right. Yeah, tomorrow we've got a pretty big day tomorrow. Yeah, Alcaraz withdrew from Wimbledon. Yep, we talked about that a couple of days ago. All right, 6-all. Tiebreak. 1 hour played in this Bouzet-Paul first set as well. Who's taking the first set in Hamburg? Chat, let me know. Let me know. Who have you got? All right, and Mboko's going to serve for the second set as well to take us to the distance. All right, return goes into the backhand of Paul. Backhand from Bouzet. As Paul backhand again. The backhand of Bouzet. Paul, another backhand to backhand exchange as Paul with a slice up the middle. Bouzet with a forehand cross court. Paul gets it. Into the backhand of Bouzet. Paul backhand again. Bouzet goes again to the backhand of Paul. He hits a slice. Bouzet with a forehand. Paul gets it back. Into the backhand of Bouzet. What a rally to start this tiebreak. Backhand to backhand. As Paul keeps it to the backhand of Bouzet. Paul slice again. Bouzet with another backhand. Paul gets it into the backhand of Bouzet again. Paul slice up the line. Bouzet with a forehand again to the backhand of Paul as Bouzet backhand up the line again. Paul gets on the stretch as Bouzet forehand up the line goes wide. What a rally. That's got to be at least 30 shots. What a rally. 1-love Paul. Emboko 15-love. Navone 3-2. Is that on serve? All right. As Emboko gets the 30 love. 31-shot rally for the first point of the tiebreak. Yeah, Emboko had match point. So, no, not Emboko. Navarro had match point. Yeah. Navone up a break 3-2, okay? All right. 40 love. Emboko to take us the distance in the final of Strasbourg. $40 love. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Serve to the backhand of Navarro. Return goes into the backhand of Emboko. Navarro forehand. Drop shot. Emboko. Navarro's going to get there, but not do anything with it. We're going 3. What a comeback from Emboko from 4-2 down to come back and win 7-5. Plus, she saved championship point. And we're going 3. 1 set to decide the winner. What a comeback from a 6-love first set as well. Super impressive. God, if Emboko hadn't done that already this week a couple of times, we maybe wouldn't be as impressed. But, man, she does not give up. Emboko is not a quitter. All right. Bouzet 2-1. But on serve in this tiebreak. Oh, me. 21 winners, 17 errors from Emboko. Great set. 5 winners, 12 errors from Navarro. So not as good as the first set for her. It wasn't as clean, but I tell you, Emboko played a hell of a lot better. We're going 3, baby. That's it. We're going 3. We're going 3. Bouzet looks like Sinner's brother. Or baby Sinner confirmed. Aren't they the same age? Anyways, Bouzet hits a return winner. 3-2. By the way, I love that there's like a whole section of just like people from Peru with the flag, all the out, like they're wearing I'm guessing the football jerseys. I love it. 3-1. Bouzet gets the break. That's a fault from Paul, second serve. And the return goes in the net by Bouzet, and it's 3-2. Bouzet. Navarro just getting some coaching in the what is it? The changeover. All right, 3-2 Bouzet. Serve to the forehand of Paul. Return to the forehand of Bouzet. Paul can't get that one. It's a winner. 4-2. They change ends. Only 5 errors from Emma in that set. Yeah, she only hit 6 in the first set, but the errors were way more in that second for Navarro. She didn't hit that many errors in the first set. And Navarro is intensely listening or staring into the abyss. I don't know. She has that 700-mile stare, right? That she's either listening or she's completely blocking everything out. Anyways, 4-2 Buse. I think she's listening. She's just not responding to the coach. She just kind of just chilling. Uh, 4-2 Buse. Has return. Goes out by Paul. And it's 5-2 Buse. It's only 1 mini break, though, so Paul's got time. By the way, chat, we're almost at 298,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. French Open starts tomorrow. You do not want to miss out, so make sure you subscribe because you may never come across this channel ever again in your life, and you're going to go, shit, who was that guy? What was that? That's probably impossible. We're going to be watching every single day for the rest of time, but you might forget what the channel name is, so if you subscribe, then you'll be up to date with all the French Open shenanigans over the next 2 weeks. And then we go to Wimbledon. Well, we go to the grass. All right, 5-3. So make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned. We're going to watch so much tennis over the next 2 weeks. You don't even know. Like, if you've never been if you've never been here for a Grand Slam, I'm live a lot. We're going to be doing like 16-hour days starting tomorrow. Volley in the net from Buse, and it's 5-4. Paul stays close, but he's still down a mini break. By the way, very, very packed crowd in the Hamburg final. Love that. Like, it is a packed stadium. One quick search, and you come up first. Okay, well, in case it does, you forget. All right, just subscribe, all right, please. And then you won't have to be reminded. YouTube will tell you. But yeah, we're going to be watching a lot. We are going to be watching a lot. Like tomorrow, potentially a 13-hour day tomorrow on day one. So we're going to be live a lot. Some of you are going to watch us as you go to bed and wake up, and I'm still going to be here. You're going to be like, bro, I'm going to work. How are you still awake? 4-1 goes up the line from Navarro. That's a winner. 30 love. First game of the final set. Who's winning the final set, chat? Give me a score and a player. 6-4 Buse to take the first tier. All right, 6-4 Buse. 2 set points to take the first set here in Hamburg. Buse serves. Into the backhand of Paul. Return goes to the front of Buse. Paul with the backhand. It's Buse forehand again to the backhand of Paul. Buse with the forehand again. Into the backhand of Paul. It's Buse. Another backhand. Oh, it goes wide. We're back on serve. TP. 6-5 Buse, but Paul gets the mini break back as that goes out by Navarro from Emboko. Navarro 40 love. There's so many bangers tomorrow. There are a few bangers tomorrow for sure. 6-4 Emboko, 7-5 Emboko, 6-4 Navarro, 7-6 Emboko, 6-1 Navarro, 6-4 Emboko. Okay. Set point number 2 for Buse in this first set. Navarro holds 1 love. As Paul comes in and volleys it away, and we get the deuce. Or 6-all if we're in a tiebreak. But I'm just testing you. I'm just making sure everyone's listening. Now, did he say deuce? I said 6-all, but thanks for listening. 6-6. Stan's not playing tomorrow. Stan's not on tomorrow. I think he's playing Feast on Monday, right? I think it's Monday. All right. 6-all in this tiebreak. Captain America, that's it. Save 2 set points here, Paul. As Paul serves again. No worries. See you later, DJ. As Paul serves. So this is the season when you don't see sunlight. Pretty much. I mean, it's also winter here, so it's like the weather sucks, so I'm not missing anything. Backhand goes up the line from Emboko. And she tries to get on the board in the final set as Paul puts a forehand in the net. Oh, he did all the hard work, and now he's down another set point. 7-6. 7-6, Bouzet. Where's the prediction video? It's going to come out later. All right, 7-6. I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting for that transaction to go through. That you sent the money, right? 15:30. Yeah, I haven't got your payment yet. Just waiting for the. Did you send a check or can't remember? What did we agree upon? What was the fee? 15:30. Backhand goes in to the forehand of Paul. Backhand Bouzet is Paul with the forehand again into the backhand of Bouzet. Paul, another forehand. Bouzet gets it back with the backhand into the forehand of Paul. Bouzet backhand again to the Paul slice. Bouzet with the forehand again into the backhand of Paul. Bouzet again with the backhand. Paul just scrambling as Bouzet hits a forehand again to that Paul backhand. He keeps picking on Paul's backhand. Backhand to backhand again as Bouzet keeps it at the backhand of Paul. He slices it and Paul hits it out and Bouzet takes the first 8-6. Throwing fists. The flags are flying. All right, 8-6 in the tiebreak. What a first set. All right, 30 here. Navarro wants an early break. Backhand into the backhand of Emboko. Navarro with a forehand again to the backhand of Emboko. Slice. Navarro forehand again to the backhand of Emboko. Now Navarro with a slice is a drop shot. Emboko gets it with a slice up the line. Great shot. Navarro gets it back with a lob. And Emboko, I don't know what that shot was, but it didn't work. She tried to hit like an over-the-shoulder flick, and it did not work at all. And we got a break point, Navarro, 30-40. So the prediction video is going to be on the second channel later, but I haven't got around to it. But I get it. Where's the prediction video? Patience. It'll come out soon. Subscribe to the second channel. And wait. Please don't do like the Australian Open format. Please do like the old format. I'm sorry, why are you ordering me around? Thank you for your feedback, but bloody hell, mate. Those videos take way longer. No, we're doing a bracket prediction because people like that. Deuce. Navarro. I appreciate your enthusiasm around the channel, but also I don't have time to do a whole I got time to put brackets together and chuck them on the second channel. I don't have time. I got to get ready for tomorrow. We got first day tomorrow. I'm busy. We got to get ready for tomorrow. Can't be slaving away making 100 videos with a lot of editing and crazy shit just before. We got like a 14-hour day tomorrow. Advantage on Emboko, by the way. Yeah, we have a second channel. Go subscribe to Tennis Talk Plus. There's a video on there already from the other day. All right, advantage on Emboko. And she holds. One all. Did I get groceries? No, I have to do that tomorrow. I have to go. No, I haven't stocked up on food for the next 2 weeks either, so I got to go do that. You know, like how animals before hibernation they go and how they go and get all the food and they it's like what's the movie? It's like A Bug's Life. You know, when they have to find all the food and put in a big. That's what I have to do tomorrow at my house. I have to go find food. I have to forage food. I'm 2 weeks. I'm 2 weeks hibernating in this room. I need to stock up because I ain't leaving the house. That's what I got to do tomorrow. I'm not really hibernating because I'm just staying inside, but I got to go out there and hunt for food. I didn't do that today. Instead, I went to IKEA and ate food. Mboko's had 40 errors. All right. All right. 30 love. All right. 30 love Navarro. Does Mia get a walk every day? Yes. That's the only exception, that I go outside to walk around the block. Give Mia a chance to catch her. When I say I don't leave the house, obviously it's not. Obviously, that's for dramatic effect. I do leave the house occasionally. All right, Navarro holds 2-1. 2-1 final set. All right. Emboko is playing too many 3-setters lately. Well, yeah, but she hasn't played much lately. So, I mean, yeah, she's playing a lot of 3-setters this week, but she's also not playing many. Like, it's not, she hasn't played much, so it's not like she's got to worry about anything. By the way, Deb, did you send a message? Did you message me? Did you send me something on Discord, or is that not? I thought I read a message. Am I blind? All right, 30-all. Bouzet, first game of the second. And he does serve to 40-30. What day will these players have to play the French? I think they'll play, some will play Monday, some will play Tuesday. I think they'll probably mostly play Tuesday if they can push them that back that far. But 40-30 Bouzet. And Bouzet serves out wide. The back of Paul. Return goes the back of Bouzet. Paul back in again to the front of Bouzet. Paul back in again to the back end of Bouzet. Paul wins the point. We get the deuce. All right, we get the deuce. But yeah, I think most of these players will be playing Tuesday. I'm pretty sure Emboko is playing Tuesday. Top half of the draw played Tuesday, so top half of the draw mostly play Tuesday. So Emboko Bartunkova will be Tuesday. I think Sinner's on Tuesday. Paul is down the bottom of the draw. No, where is he? Oh no, Paul's up the. Where the hell is Tommy Paul? Tommy Paul is missing. Where is he? Oh, he's in the bottom half. So Paul will be playing on Monday. Emboko Tuesday. Navarro. I think Navarro's playing on Tuesday as well. She's up the top. And Bouzet is also down the bottom. So Rublev and Bouzet will be playing on Monday. Paul will be playing Monday, and then the ladies will play on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. I think. All right, Paul. He wins the first game of the second. 1-love. He breaks. All right, love 30 here in Navarro. This is a four now from Emboko. That goes in the net. It's love 40, Navarro. Love 40. Navarro to get the break in the middle of this final set. We are a long way away from this ending, though, because we know Emboko can come back. We've seen it already in this match. Little fault second serve. Serving to the back of Navarro. Return to the back of Emboko. Navarro. Backing up the line. Great shot. Emboko gets it back. Navarro comes to the net. Emboko passing shot is a winner. Woo. All right. Oh, you didn't? I got a notification saying you sent a message. Discord's playing tricks on me. Weird. All right. Still break point here on Mboko, 4 up the line. Navarro with the backhand cross court. And then a drop shot in the net by Mboko. Navarro takes the break in the middle of this final set, 3-1. 3-1 Navarro. But remember, Mboko was down 4-2 in the second and came back to win. So don't think that Mboko is going to just finish this, going to finish off, or going to leave this match without putting up a fight. Cam, how was your honeymoon after your wedding last week? I didn't get married, so I didn't go on honeymoon. So I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, Navarro with the break, 3-1. As we're back into backhand rally. Mboko up the line. Navarro with a slice. 4-1 from Mboko as Navarro forehand again to the forehand of Mboko. Mboko up the line, goes wide. And it's 15-love. Yeah, Bouzet plays Rublev, which for Rublev is tough. It's a tough match. Even before Bouzet went off this week, when the draw come out, I think a lot of people who have been, a lot of you guys have been paying attention. We were like, oh shit, Bouzet in the first round is not an easy first round for Rublev. Bouzet is legit. And he's proven that the last couple of days. But like, even a couple of days ago when the draw come out, it was like, oh, that's going to be tough. Rublev's going to have some work to do. Probably the good thing for Rublev is that he's going to play a guy who's played all week. So maybe Bouzet is going to have less gas in the tank in a couple of days, but still tough. And also, if the Peruvians are going to rock up in Paris and support their guy, Rublev's going to have to deal with could be dealing with a pretty intense crowd as well. Paul holds, by the way, 2-love and 40-love Navarro. So yeah, Bouzet Rublev feels like it could go the distance as well. Maybe a 4-5 setter too. So that'd be fun. We'll see if we watch that one on Tuesday or Monday. First of the fault, second serve. Could be an upset. I mean, yeah, Rublev, he's got to be careful. And a double fault Navarro, 40-15. Mboko is throwing this match on purpose. Can you please explain how? Why? I would please explain to the crowd, to the class, please. How is she throwing this match on purpose? How? Like, why? I would really like to know what you're thinking. 40-15. And it's like, it's the net by Emboko, and it's 4-1 Navarro in the final set. But remember, it's only one breaker serve, and Emboko has come back from a 4-2 deficit. Chat, how does this happen? What is happening? Wait, is this real, Dutchy, or is this just a joke? No, it's real. Oh, man. Feast is out. God, he trolled us all along. That sucks. That sucks. The whole time, everyone was like, he's practicing, though. It's all good. It was all good. And then he's like, actually, I can't play. Feast is out. That stinks. That's right. He's not in my fantasy team, but this hurts. So that means Wawrinka's not going to play Feast. He's going to play a lucky loser, which is great for Stan. But it sucks for us because we get robbed of a good match. I wonder who the lucky loser is going to be. Who's on the... man, the men's game is falling apart! ATP tennis falling apart. Let me see who the lucky loser could be. Anybody that's could make it interesting against Stan? None of the... Actually, you know what? I would love to see Blanche. Blanche, like the kid from America, the 18-year-old from America, put him up against Stan in the first round for fun. Have a generational clash. It's not going to be him. It's going to be De Jong because De Jong's the number one seed. But I would love to see Blanche get a second chance to play and to play Stan in the first round would be really fun. Do they change the They don't mix up the seeds, do they? Because it's... I don't think they change the seeds, do they? Maybe they do. Oh, the lucky loser's been set already. It's De Jong, yeah. He's number one seed. Anyways, 4-1 Navarro in the final set. Oh, man, that sucks. Feast can't catch a break. Man's been playing amazing, and then he hurts himself in one match, and... God. Anyways, Bouzet trying not to go down a double break. Advantage Bouzet. Yeah, it is De Jong. Yeah, I thought so. The number, it usually goes by the highest ranked player who lost in the qualies, doesn't it? Yeah, Blanche played Nadal a couple years ago. Like at 16 years old. It was crazy. Anyways, advantage Bouzet. That sucks. But Stan, I'll tell you, great for Stan. Means that Stan might get a couple wins at Roland Garros because that was a shocking first round for both guys. But, God. Boo. Hopefully Feast is good for grass though, because Feast can play on grass. And I expect him to be really scary. Anyways, Navarro, good return. 15:30. 15:30. Yeah, Gene must have heard the news and he hasn't messaged or hasn't sent the news yet, so he's probably having to deal with that. Brutal. Sucks for all of us, though. It's such a fun player to watch. 15:30. Emboko forehand. Navarro goes up the line. That's a great shot. Emboko slices it back. Good defense from Emboko. Navarro forehand inside inners. Emboko goes cross court. Navarro gets it back. Emboko drop shot. Navarro's going to get it, though. And hit it in the net. Great hustle from Emboko. 30-all. 30-all. What was the Feast injury? Does anyone remember? Why did he pull out at 4-love? I can't remember. Was it back? Was it a back issue? I can't recall. Was it a back? I can't remember. Somebody remember? Gene just sent it to me. Ah, man, it was a hip, was it? It was hip. All right, 30-all. Big point coming up. As we get a backhand from Emboko, sliced into the front of Navarro. Emboko forehand. Again to the front of Navarro, up the line to the backhand of Emboko. Navarro backhand slice again. Emboko. Slice cross inside out to the front of Navarro. Now slice from Emboko. That's going to go wide. 30-40. 30-40. By the way, apparently there was 10,000 people watching, trying to wait for Feast and Monfils to practice today in the stands, but then obviously Feast is not playing, so he's not going to practice. Anyway, it's 30-40. Ah, God, that sucks. That sucks. Break point. Ace out wide. Woo. All right, Emboko. She's not done yet. And we get the deuce. God, that sucks. My bracket just went up in flames. Oh, why'd you do... You can change your bracket. You can update your bracket before the matches tomorrow. As Paul gets to another break point here. Advantage Paul to take the double break here in the second set. All right, deuce. Emboko trying to avoid a double break. As Emboko gets to advantage. Who's able to fault. Second serve. As a backhand return from Paul goes to the front of Bouzet. Point now from Paul. There's Bouzer forehand at the line. It's a great shot. Bouzer survives. Back to deuce. And Navarro, she also gets back to deuce. She wants that double break. All right, deuce. There's been a forehand on the stretch from Emboko. Navarro. Cross-court forehand again. Emboko gets it back. Navarro forehand again to the forehand of Emboko. As they go with a forehand up the line from Navarro. Emboko gets it back. Forehand again from Navarro into the back of Emboko as Navarro forehand again. Drop shot. Emboko is good. Navarro gets there with a forehand. Up goes a lob. Navarro with a backhand volley is in. Did that go in? No, it just missed from Navarro. That would have been a crazy high volley. Great hustle again on Emboko. She is just hanging in. Not a bad attempt, though, at the volley. Oh, it just missed. That would have been a crazy shot from Navarro. That was so close to being shot of the day. All right, break point again for Paul. For the double break. Navarro returns into the front of Emboko. Emboko on the net. Another marathon game on Emboko's serve here. And Paul does get the double break. All right, 3-love Paul in the second. All right, 3-love. All right, back to deuce. All right, serve again from Emboko. Return goes in front of Emboko. Backhand now from Navarro into the slice, into the backhand of Emboko, sorry. Backhand from Navarro up the line. Emboko gets back. Navarro in the net with a forehand, and it's advantage Emboko. Prismic versus Fonseca. This could be the match of the tournament. Yeah, it could be pretty fun. All right, so he's basically Feast was just saying, I don't want to risk. He said he said that the scans came back okay, but he's still in pain, so he doesn't want to risk it and be stupid like last year. So apparently last year he must have been playing in pain and it made it worse. So yeah, so it's more, and it's man, it sucks, but I guess he's not playing for more for preservation so he can play for the rest of the year. Emboko holds 4-2 Navarro. And I don't mind that from Feast. It's like, it sucks that he's not going to play Roland Garros, but also if it means that he plays for the rest of the year, then fair, that's fine. I'm happy. I'm fine with that. All right, 4-2 Navarro with the break, final set. Emboko is only down one break, and she can come back. We've seen it the last 2 days, coming back from a break in a set to win a set. Paul's got a 3-love lead, by the way. Dino clears Fonseca. I love how everybody is compared to Fonseca. I love that. Double fault, love 15 on Emboko. It is like, as a Fonseca fan, at first it was like everybody's like trying to belittle Fonseca, but I've actually turned it around. I'm actually thinking it's more an honor for everybody to be like, oh, well, Fonseca's the benchmark. So if Dino clears Fonseca, like, you're not comparing him against Tien, you're not comparing him against Hodar, you're not comparing him against anyone else. Everyone gets compared against Fonseca, so he must be doing something right. Love 15. If Fonseca's the yardstick, right? He's the benchmark. He must be pretty good. Oh, this guy's better than Fonseca. Oh, everyone seems to be better than Fonseca, but we all keep saying his name. All right, nice hit there from Emboko. It's love 30. Okay, what I say about one break is not enough. Love 30. Nice hitting from Emboko. By the way, Navarro goes for the smash, hits it off the top of the frame, and really just Was lucky that went in. Love 30. Fonseca will never win a major. No, okay. If you say so. Love 30. As Navarro serves again. Into the forehand of Emboko. Forehand from Navarro. Again, the forehand from Emboko. Sliced. And long from Emboko. 15-30. This is a very important game for Navarro to win. She has to win this game. She has to stay in front. All right, 15-30. Serving to the forehand of Emboko. Return goes to the forehand of Navarro. Emboko backhand. Into the forehand of Navarro. Oh, she sprayed it wide. We got break points for Emboko to get back on serve. And Paul's got a 40-15 lead to go to 4-love in the second. Fonseca's doing the hype machine all right. Oh, okay. 15-40. As Navarro serves a fault, second serve. Second serve in the backhand of Emboko. And Emboko to that 30-40. I'll tell you this. What happens if he beats Prismic and Djokovic? Just saying. What if that happened? How would you be? Are you prepared? Are you prepared for that? Because I feel like that'll blow your minds if it happened. And maybe hurt your feelings. Are you prepared? Because it could. It's not a zero chance. Imagine if Fonseca did beat Djokovic in the third round of Roland Garros. Would you be okay? If Djokovic beats Fonseca, I'd be fine. I'd be like, okay. But what if the other thing happens? Will you be okay? Because I'll do a backflip off screen if it happened. I might do a double backflip with a twist. I don't know. Anyways, that goes out by Emboko. We get to deuce. That's not the upset you think it is? Oh, okay. So beating Djokovic at a Grand Slam is not a good win anymore. Oh, okay. Oh. So Fonseca beating Djokovic at a Grand Slam, not a good win. That doesn't, whatever, man. Whatever. That doesn't count. Oh. Okay. Anyways, backhand goes wide by Emboko. Advantage Navarro. Okay. Advantage Navarro. To get to 5-2. Also, 4-love for Paul. 4-love Paul. Backhand rally. There goes the net by Emboko. Good hold by Navarro. 5-2. Mboko's going to serve to stay in the match. Remember, Emboko has saved the championship point already in the second set. All right, 5-2 in this final set. If there's something certain, is that Novak is 100% unpredictable at this stage. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, we don't know what to think. We don't know what to expect from Djokovic. I mean, Djokovic is playing Pirikar tomorrow night. That's, you would say, would be a winnable match, but we just don't have any. It's hard to say where Djokovic is right now on the clay. So yeah. Novak isn't the health because of age. He just hasn't played. He took more time off than he thought he would need to on the clay, like before the clay season, and like he thought that he would be back for like Madrid, right? But he didn't come back till Rome, and then just So again, it's hard to know where Djokovic is right now. But also Novak can win a slam without form. Like He could also win the French Open by not playing at all on clay. I mean, remember last year? He went into the clay season last year with like multiple losses. And then he won that 100 title in Geneva. And we're thinking, man, he's played so much lately. Like, oh shit, how's he going to do? Makes the semifinals of the French. All right, here we go. Emboko is going to serve to stay in the match. Can Navarro take this win? As Emboko serves in the forehand of Navarro. Forehand from Emboko goes wide. Love 15. Also, Bouzet trying to get a game in this second set. Love 15. As Emboko serves again. An ace. Just hopping aboard. Thanks for covering Bouzet's match. What a cool guy. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, Bouzet, we haven't watched much of him before, so I'm glad we could get to watch this final. And we'll watch the final set if we go 3 only by itself. We won't have a double header. So, yeah. It was a last-minute decision to watch this match, but I thought, we should probably see who Rublev has to play. As Paul hits it out in the return, it's back to Deuce as we get a passing shot winner by Navarro. 30-all. 2 points away. 30-all. What a pass. That wasn't a bad approach by Emboko. Maybe a little bit short in the court on the backhand, but great passing shot. Return goes short again from Navarro. Backing up the line. That's a winner from Emboko. 40-30. 40-30. Emboko to take the game and make Navarro serve for this match. Navarro hasn't had a chance to serve for the match yet. She was 5-4 up in the second and had a championship point, but it wasn't on her serve. Emboko serves into the forehand of Navarro. Return goes into the back of Emboko. Emboko on the net. We get the deuce. 2 points away. 2 points away. Great return from Navarro. Super deep in the court. First serve is a fault, second serve. Don't worry, we got Bouzet and Paul going on at the same time. Bouzet's on the board, 4-1 Paul. As we return now from Navarro to the backhand of Emboko. Paul. Emboko backhand, a slice of Navarro. Paul's not playing in Strasbourg as we get a backhand rally. Again from Navarro into the forehand of Emboko, and Emboko hits a winner. Great hitting. Advantage on Emboko. Paul's up 4-1 double break in the second. What matches are we going to watch tomorrow? Yes. I can guarantee Djokovic and Pirikar. Everything else before that, I'm not sure, but hopefully many matches. Adam!
Hope you enjoy your short break.
Thank you. For the 5. It's been pretty chill. We've had a chill week this week. This week hasn't been nothing. We've done streams, but it's been a chilled week. All right, double fault from Emboko, and we get the deuce. Thank you for the 5. I hope you're doing well as the return goes out by Navarro. Advantage on Emboko. But yeah, Djokovic, Pirikar, and then I don't know what we watched before that, but there's a lot of matches worth watching tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that. Have I watched the Rafa trailer for the documentary? I have, yes. I'm excited. That comes out next week, right? All right, first serve, default, second serve. Advantage on Emboko. Serve to the back of Navarro. Return the forehand of Emboko. That's a good shot. Navarro gets it with a slice. Goes short. And Emboko backhand cross court. Navarro puts up a lob. Emboko puts the smash in the nets. All right, back to deuce. You could see it happening too. Emboko looked up and you're like, this is not going to be going very well. She hit it in the ground. I feel like this week we've just been hanging out. Yeah, that's definitely definitely the vibe, which has been nice. It's been a chilled week. Anyways, Navarro with a return winner. She's got championship point. Number 2, to win Strasbourg and to get back on the tour. She's been out with illness for the last couple of months, but she has come back with a vengeance this week as we had a backhand return from Navarro. Emboko back on the stretch. Navarro on the attack as Emboko backhand in the net. Navarro wins, and she raises both hands. Navarro is back, and she's back in the top 30. She'll be unseeded next week. They hug it out of the net. I tell you what, I don't think people can appreciate how tall Emboko is. Like, she doesn't seem to be that tall, but then when she stands next to, like, Navarro's not short. Navarro's like your average height in the WTA, right? Like a 5'8", 5'9". Emboko is like closer to 6 foot, right? I mean, she is tall for WTA. But that doesn't matter because Navarro wins. What a fight back from Navarro as well. I'll tell you though, like I said, Mboko's had a great week. She also hasn't played most of the clay season. So both these ladies making the final is a huge effort because both these ladies haven't been active. And she hugs everyone in the team, Navarro. Great stuff. And she's going to take on Janice Chen on, I think on Monday or Tuesday. But I'll tell you, chat, I said this yesterday. I think Emboko, I mean, other people seem to have, it's maybe not a surprise, but Emboko at Wimbledon, if she's healthy, I don't know. That serve and forehand combo, Emboko at Wimbledon. I don't know. I'm liking it more and more. Emboko could play well at the French as well, for sure. But I don't know. I feel like Mboko's game on the grass, that might be where things happen. 37 winners, 57 errors from Emboko, 16 and 21 for winners' errors for Navarro. And that was a 2-hour, 20-minute match. Emboko played a lot of long matches this week. 30-40, by the way. Bouzet to get one of the breaks back. But great week for both, like I said. And also great first week for Wim Fizet and Emboko making a final in their first match together. So great start to their partnership. But Emma Navarro is the champion. Where's her ranking at? Where is her ranking at? By the way, the whole team for the Navarro team is super excited. Bouzet gets a break back, by the way, 4-2. Don't worry, we'll be locking into that one exclusively in a second. So Emboko added a lot of points to her title, but she's still number 9. Behind Andreeva. She's 500 points behind Andreeva. And Navarro is now 25 in the world. So unfortunately, it was a week too late, but she is now into the top 30 and unseeded at the French. So that sucks for everybody else. But yeah, she's number 25 now. She'll be probably seated at Wimbledon. 14 spots up from last week. She overtakes Baptiste, amongst many others. But yeah, great result for Navarro. Remember, this is a 500 event. This is worth a lot of points. All right, 4-2. Paul, still got one of the breaks. As we're back in the net from Paul, 15 love. By the way, if you are leaving, don't forget to sub on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe on the way out. By the way, chat, I do appreciate, we don't know what, and it's none of our business, let's be honest. We don't know what Navarro's been dealing with the last couple of months, right? She's had illness, she's been pulling out tournaments, she hasn't been able to play. But the moment at the end there, between her and her coach, they just gave each other a look, they just looked at each other and were like, we're back. Like, it was that whatever was going on. And again, none of our business. There's obviously a lot of speculation, blah, blah, blah. She said she's been sick the last couple of weeks. We don't know how bad that was. But to see that her and her coach just kind of look at each other and because he would know, he would definitely know what that she's been dealing with. That's nice. That's like, you can just look and see like, yeah, the last couple of months have not been easy for whatever has been going on. And they're just like, we're back. And I love that. That's a great moment. Great moment. Yeah, health issues, exactly. It was health issues. Again, we don't know to what extent. We don't know the details, and nor should we. It's none of our business. By the way, Navarro joins Krejcikova, Svitolina, Stosur, Garcia, Rybakina as champions of this tournament. I mean, Strasbourg has a very decent winners list. Like, a lot of big names win this tournament. It is not won by randoms. And also, remember, Navarro is a former top 10 player. She was number 10 in the world, or in the top 10 not that long ago. 40 up, by the way, Bouzet. Good work from Emboko. Oh, yeah. I thought Emboko yesterday was not going to... when she got hurt yesterday, I thought, oh, no, that's it. But she put on a fight. I mean, that's the thing. If you didn't know before this week, Emboko is a fighter. And she does not quit. Even when she is maybe not in the best of shape physically, when she was, she had that problem with her arm yesterday, Emboko, she still fought through. So you love that. Plus, she's also got huge serve, huge forehand, and clay might not be her favorite surface, but man, Emboko is like I've been so excited about Emboko the last 12 months. Like this time last year when she sort of broke out a little bit on the main. It's so fun to watch. She is a serious danger to everybody on the tour. Anyways, so is Navarro. 4-3. Bouzet holds. He's won the last 3 games in a row, though. And now, I think both these ladies do play Tuesday. I'm pretty sure they don't play tomorrow. They definitely don't play tomorrow. Definitely don't play tomorrow. Very, very sure they don't play tomorrow. If they played tomorrow, that would be a crime for Roland Garros to have to make them play tomorrow. That would be brutal and very unfair. What match are we covering next? We're watching the rest of this Bouzet versus Paul match, which is possibly going 3. I think Feast had a problem with his hip. Is Feast skipping Wimby? No. Not at this stage. I hope not. For some reason, the way that it sounds like he's being very cautious. Because last year he played through injury and he didn't, like he played through the injury and it got worse. So it sounds like that Feast is pulled out not because it's really bad, but because he doesn't want it to get worse and he wants to play for the rest of the year. He doesn't want a repeat of last year. So that's probably a good sign that he's being extra cautious. Right? He's trying not to make it worse and then all of a sudden he's not playing till Australian Open, right? So that seems to be the vibe I was getting from what he was saying at the press conference. It's disappointing, but it's more like long term. It's probably for the best. So yeah, he's not playing out of Wimbledon at this stage. 4-3, Paul with the break. As we're back into backhand rally. Slice now from Paul into the forehand of Bouzet. Backhand from Paul again. Into the backhand of Bouzet. Up the middle is Paul forehand again to the backhand of Bouzet. And Paul with another backhand. Bouzet backhand goes up the middle again. Paul forehand to the backhand of Bouzet. Now forehand from Paul and the stretch goes cross court. Bouzet gets it back up the line for a winner. It's love 15. This is a great little comeback here. All right, we're going to merge the streams because it makes it just easier for everybody. So jump on over if you want to keep watching this Paul versus Bouzet Hamburg final. But great win for Navarro. She's back. She takes it out in 3, and she is going to be a very dangerous unseeded player at the French Open now. Also Emboko, though. She's going to also be a dangerous French Open player. Both of them playing themselves into form this week, just when they needed it the most. Last chance to get form, and they both took it. And but Navarro takes the championship.